Christmas miracle. Mo has seen Avatar 2, and he's going to see Avatar 3 tomorrow.
I can't believe it. If it wasn't coming out of your own mouth, I wouldn't believe you. And you're going to be amazed what my review is going to be. Because if you know what I think of the first one, I'll just put it out there. You don't know. Y'all out there don't know. We'll see. Do not have high hopes.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. If I can remember any lines, I would say something right now.
I know. Welcome, everybody, to another Holly Jolly Monday Hangover Show. I'm Jay. This is Mo. And I forced Mo. When Mo told me he never saw Avatar 2, The Way of Water, I was like, what? You got to watch this film. You got to watch it, man. I think you're going to love it. And he was a little skeptical. He was a little shocked, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, you know. So I was like, watch it. We'll go live. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do my best not to talk about 3, Fire and Ash, until tomorrow. But my review is up on Criticalist. I did do a quick short, just a curiosity, like right out of the theater to see how well that thing does on this channel. But yeah, try not to talk too much about it. If I liked it or disappointed or whatever, I'm just gonna try to tune in tomorrow night. So first Avatar comes out 16 years ago today. 16 years ago. Avatar comes out. Good Lord, what year was that? 09?
09.
Yeah,
Yep.
Look at that. I'm mathing right now. Comes out 09, and from what I remember, it was pushed like 3D movies kind of went like up and down a little bit, and they kind of disappeared, I think. And then Avatar comes out, and they're like, this is going to be one of the greatest 3D films ever made. Ever.
Actually, it was quite the opposite. That's
what was it? Or did they do 3D, and then we saw these 3D films?
So what happened is we were at the confluence of where you could have the technology at home and in the theater for 3D. Like we had 3D before, if you remember, like the active shutters and stuff before 2009. But going into 2009, that's where the TVs and the Blu-rays and the movie theaters, they could all offer that experience. So this was like fever pitch. This was the one that got people, like everybody else, making the 3D movies.
Okay.
You remember there was like only a few that were making them. After this, everything was 3D.
It was like Harold and Kumar did a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Final Destination did a 3D movie.
Mm-hmm.
But what was weird, and help me understand this. If you watched it in a different theater, the 3D to me was different. It was either they called it, what it was called. It's like when you're watching a 3D movie and the picture goes out, so it looks like you're watching a movie through a window. And then if you watched it on IMAX, or the way it was supposed to be, like they actually come up to your face.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what that's called.
I don't know what it was called, but it was
basically if you filmed it or produced it in 3D like they did in Avatar, like then it looked great. If you try to put it over the top, like if you tried to cut out the cardboard cutouts on the screen.
Yes, yeah, that's what it was. And I remember watching Avatar 2, and I didn't get the amazing 3D until I saw it in IMAX. And James Cameron said that you got to watch this movie in IMAX. It was filmed for IMAX. The 3D was filmed for IMAX. Anything else you see, it'll be fine, but it's not going to look like it just looks like you're watching the movie through a window, like that way. This is terrible. Watch this thing in IMAX. Watching The Way of Water and the first Avatar in the IMAX, them little things were like people were like trying to grab it and all that stuff. So, you know, it was pretty spectacular. So let me say hi to everybody. Wicked Virtue is here. Keenan, always ghostly. Casey, Corbin, what's up, buddy? I know my man Bruce is here. He's an Avatar fan like me. Marianne, JB, Jake, Stanley. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and being here. iCanalyst is here. Like, we're trying to get the watch hours up. And Ladybug, I see you. So we're not monetized over here at all. So we're just going to hang out for like 45 minutes or so and talk a little Avatar. So IMAX is 24 frames per minute versus 12 3D versus 12 frames per minute. So yeah, so I guess it would look different.
Oh, because of the active shutters that they turn on and off real quick. That's how you get the 3D effect. That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I'm a nerd. Sorry.
But once I saw like the first Avatar, yeah, I saw it twice. I saw it regular and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is, let's be honest, it was like a rehashing of Pocahontas or Fern Gully or the Kevin Dances with Wolves.
Yep.
Same type of trope. You know, one guy's hired to do a job, falls in love with the enemy, becomes the enemy, and realizes that the enemy is not the enemy. They're the good guys. So switches sides and fights the real bad guys. And that's the movie. So, you know.
Yeah. Doesn't help he gets to walk again. That's kind of a little fringe benefit of becoming an Avatar. He doesn't get to roll around.
No, I thought that was kind of neat. I thought that was kind of neat. So the first film, we get our first look into Pandora, and we start to get a little bit of the rules here of what works. Humans can't breathe. They do have these clones that mixes with your DNA. It was interesting that Jake had a twin brother who was a scientist who died. Jake was like an alcoholic on Earth. There is a full 12-minute, I think 13-minute scene of him on Earth that never made it into the theaters. It is in the special edition cut or whatever that you have to buy, where he's just like a wasted alcoholic who lost he's Lieutenant Dan. He's depressed, so he's just drinking. And of course, the men in black show up and they're just like, hey, we'd like to offer you a job on Pandora. So
that would have gone a long way to make the movie more interesting. Like the fallen hero. They got a lot of tropes in Avatar, but that would have been a really good one. That would have made a lot more sense.
Well, I like the one thing that I loved about the first one is you got to see like the spaceships and them sleeping and then showing up in Pandora, and it was all like new, you know, and you didn't know what to expect. And it's like, here's the rules for this world, and they're going after a thing called anaptanium. Did I say that right? Unobtainium. Anyway, a precious metal.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one. So they were trying to get a precious metal. And of course, the Na'vi are in the way. And they just want to kill them. But if they figure, we can go in there and like talk them out of like leaving their home, then everything will be fine. We'll build them a school. Unobtainium. Thank you. Unobtainium. That's right. So he falls in love with another Na'vi who happens to be the princess, Jake Sully, and just decides that he's going to fight the humans to save the big tree, which he doesn't end up saving at all. But then he ends up becoming the Morak Torak, or I think that's what it's called, the where he flies the big banshee, you know, and then he rallies the clan. And Awa shows up and they fight, and Colonel Quaritch, who I think he's one of my favorite characters in this whole franchise. He's really good in 3. I'll just say that. And he gets killed. You know, there's a final scene, things like that. And Jake goes to Awa and he proved himself and he wakes up in his avatar. That's the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked it a lot. I saw it twice in the theater. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Everybody kept saying, nah, it's just Dances with Wolves. Yes, I understand the comparison. I get it. I totally get it. But then that movie goes on to do something that nobody thought it would do. Make billions of dollars. I mean, it was the #1 grossing film of all time for a long time. Like nothing even came close till like Marvel showed up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that to make things more interesting, it has zero cultural impact. which is crazy. Like no one's out there buying like Avatar skins, and I mean, like take Star Wars for instance. Everybody wanted a lightsaber and action figures, posters on the wall, things like that. So not too many not too many cultural footprints.
No,
How did you like the first one?
I thought it was way too. After somebody who saw Fern Gully in the movie theater, and I know, ha ha ha. No, Fern Gully was full of like comedy and music, and it had like the same beats and the same plot and the same kind of movie progression. But it was like a little more crazy with a lot more funny, and it had Robin Williams in it, which doesn't hurt. And so that was really good. This just felt like a kind of a 3D CGI skin graft on top, and I didn't like the basic story where it's like, ooh, humans bad, white men bad, you know, natives good, you know, and there's no like there's no like minutia, there's no like subtleties. It's like these guys are bad, the Marines are bad, the natives are good. There's a tree that we got to save, and it just was like, it's all right. Like the story was serviceable for the visuals, but this is true.
That's me. That's me. I always like lean into the mic and I just breathe. I'm a heavy breather, so
he was just trying to sound like a Monkey Boy there because he's always breathing out of the respirator. So I felt like I was in Avatar 2 right there. But yeah, no, it was all right. It was just like, okay, you know, it was a serviceable movie with great visuals. I didn't see it in the theater, but I did see it on my 3D TV at the time, and it had a pretty good setup. And the way that the floating islands looked were amazing. Like the 3D effect in that movie was unbelievable. I could only imagine what it looked like in IMAX. But as far as the movie overall, it was all right. It was like a forgettable time, but it was fun. It was good, great popcorn movie. So
it broke a lot of molds, though. It's like it was like a lot of people. Like James Cameron does that, though. Even with Titanic, Titanic was a very long film. Titanic was the last film that I could ever remember going to where they had an intermission. Like I don't remember that so much. Like that was the only movie I remember they did a 15-minute pee break in the middle of Titanic, because that was like also like 3 hours long. Now, just so you guys know, studios don't like long. They like like maybe like an hour 35, hour 40, because they could show more in the time of the day. When you're running a 3.5 hour film plus teasers and everything, you can only show it like 3 times a day instead of showing it 5 times a day to make more money. So James Cameron just doesn't care. He's just like, I've done this before and it's going to make a ton of money. Trust me. Trust me. So he releases Avatar, it broke billions, and you're just kind of like, wow, where did that come from? And then it disappears. So I liked Avatar. I didn't go out and buy any books. I didn't go out and like I said, didn't go out and do anything other than I thought it was cool. Came out on cable, watched it a few times. Then, it was my first time seeing it not in 3D when it was on cable. I was like, that's cool. Then Pandora opens in Disney World. The Pandora World I thought was fantastic. And little did I know that the ride was giving away like a lot of part 2. Like part 2 was in there. So we waited 13 years for Way of Water to see what would happen with the Sullys. So Way of Water is my favorite. I saw that in the theater multiple times when it came out. That movie made me buy the books that I read.
Really?
And did you know I had an Avatar channel?
Yes. You lit it up. You were just putting one out every day, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't have. I don't have it anymore. That was a. It's so funny because I was listening to the YouTube seminar like a few years ago, and they were like, if you make a channel and you keep it to a redefined specific niche, it will be successful. So I was like, let me do Avatar, since nobody has an Avatar channel that I know of. Nobody, kind of like Star Wars Theory did Star Wars lore. Like I was like, let me do Avatar, and I did it. Like I got that thing monetized in 5 weeks. 5 weeks, and that thing was making me like $500 a month, dude.
That is wow.
And I was only uploading like once a week. No live streams, no nothing. Yeah, so it was doing well. Now, the reason why I don't have it anymore because once the movie came out, it disappeared. Like nobody watched nothing after that. I tried to upload a couple afterwards like, "Okay, let's learn more about Pandora." Zero. Nothing. No views, no nothing. Dude, I was getting like 70,000 views per video. And then once the movie came out, Way of Water, it dropped to like 10. Crazy, dude. So I was like, yeah, it was an experiment. If it had kept building, I would have still had it, but I was like, I was putting so much time into it and nothing came of it. Like I think I dropped another 30 videos after the movie came out, and those things didn't even hit 100 views. So why would it do that? Because people lost interest. Because I was doing Way of Water theories, Way of Water, maybe rumors, Way of Water, like stuff like that. Like, and then I was dissecting like the different creatures. And people were into it. But then once the movie came out and everybody knew what happened, they just were like, they moved on. That's what I was saying, that these movies don't have a cultural impact. But Avatar 2, The Way of Water came out when Hollywood was dissing on dads. It was a unique time where dads were the problem. Dads were like drunks, has been. Take The Force Awakens. Han Solo, father. What was he? He became a drunk, walked out on his family, left his wife. That's what they did with dads. So then Avatar 2 comes out and you have a good dad that cared about his family. But Mo never seen it since you saw it today.
Yeah, I saw it earlier today.
The first time watching Way of Water, sir. The floor is yours. Break it on down.
Well, obviously, as you could tell from the first movie, I was like, that's why I never watched it. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't really into it. So right off rip, this movie does a good job of setting up such a good job of setting up the movie that you don't even really need to see the first one. Like it tells you all what's been happening the last few years, doesn't languish on it too long, shows them all being happy and stuff like that, but you can lose it all in a heartbeat. And then they get right into the action where they're talking about there's a new star. And then he goes, the engines are decelerating, and then it shows the armada, and you're like, all right. And from that point on, it's pretty much action or something interesting going on the entire movie, as opposed to the original Avatar, which was kind of like a tech demo to me, like kind of dropped, kind of lulled. I don't think this movie lulled at any point. There might be certain things that I disagree with, but I thought it was a much better movie. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was really fun. I'm gonna skip ahead to my favorite moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is like, I
like
never thought I would.
It's okay.
I know, but I'm saying like talking about the entire movie. But my favorite part is like, I can't believe you got in a fight with them. We're here with the chief and stuff like that. And then the big brother goes away, and he asks, I think it was the little brother. He goes, "How do they look?" They look worse. And he's like, "Good man." Or I'm like, yeah. I wouldn't expect to see that 20 years ago, let alone nowadays. I was like, heck yeah.
That's a great dad moment.
Yeah.
When he's like, son, who looked worse? They did. He's like, heck yeah.
Yeah, worse. Much worse. And then he's like, I want you to go apologize.
Yeah.
It goes over and he goes, I'm so sorry I hit you so many times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good moments like that where it's just like, yeah, no, we're gonna be full of testosterone. We're gonna be men and boys, and we're not apologizing for it. Not even to what's her face, Zoe Saldana's character. He's like, we are not an army. This is not the Marines. We are family. And he goes, yeah. He just looks at her like, whatever. Like he's like, I like that whole theme through the movie, where Jake Sully, the man the father protects the family. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, I think that to me that was a great, and Cameron always likes to put in like his own little protests. So like the first one was about like destruction of the forest, and this one was Save the Whales, and I'm like, Save the Whales was out like in the 80s, wasn't it? Wasn't that like a thing? Like people were like,
Uh,
let's save the whales. Like that's such an old thing to rah around. But like Cameron had decided to put that in there. He's like, we got to save the whales, save the. I'm like, did we not do that already? Like, did
no,
Jimmy Carter do that or Ronald Reagan? Like way
it
back
was
before I was
Reagan.
born? Like, what the heck?
So that was 86 to like 90. I remember that because the Voyage Home, Star Trek, not to bring up other movies, but that was
Yes,
huge on Save
another
the.
one, save the
But
whales.
I remember being in third grade and we adopted a whale. Like everybody could adopt a whale. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
Yep, and his name was Silver. He had gotten hit by a boat and he had a messed up fin. And I don't know what I hadn't thought about Silver till this day. This was 35 years ago. But yeah, I was like, this is like preachiness from the late 80s. Yeah, it was very odd to have that. And then it's kind of like surface level. They don't like they kind of touch on it, but not really. It's kind of like just it's he's just kind of protesting for something that's been nobody's talked about for like 30 years. Yeah. Very odd.
Did the killing of the whales in the movie make you feel sad? Did he
No.
give them enough flavor in the film that makes you feel like, yeah, this is kind of sad to watch him like die, and the little baby just circling mom, knowing that he's gonna die? No.
The only one I cared about was the
Screw those
Outcast.
whales, Mo 2025. I want that potion that makes me live forever. Apparently, that they extract from their tonsils. So that unobtainium just disappeared when they figured out that like, if they get the whales, they can squeeze out some juice from the whales, and people stop aging.
Like,
It's like
aging at all.
A lot of yeah. So so like there's that. We don't need the precious metal anymore. We need the freaking whales. So it makes you wonder that if Jake Sully would have stayed in the forest, maybe he wouldn't have been in trouble. But because he ended up going to the water, there was already a war on the water with the whales, and he just kind of happened to show up at the right time when it's like, now I got to fight again. What I like in Avatar 2, they introduced like some new things, like the flying fish creature, that all the warriors rode, things like that. And I thought I love like watching that thing in IMAX when they go under the water for the first time and you see all the new creatures flying around. That 3D was just kicking. But they introduced like you finally get to see his family. They took that really creepy picture with the Polaroid, remember? And then like the flash was, you remember that scene like right at the beginning? He gets all his family together and they take a picture of the family, and like the flash makes them look all creepy before the humans come back down. But yeah, so now you start to see that's the thing that I like the second one, the family dynamic. You have the older brother who's like following right in his dad's footsteps, always listens to his dad. You got the rebellious brother who feels like he can't do anything right. He's always looking in the shadows of someone else. They adopted Sigourney Weaver's character, and nobody understands who she is and what she is. And all they know is that when they laid Sigourney Weaver's body and her avatar to try to do the same thing they did to Jake, it just didn't take. So and Kiri was her name was, she was kind of created from that. And they didn't really explain it. Maybe just a little bit, but they didn't really explain it.
It's funny when they use like terminology like, how'd they get knocked up? And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Which I felt the kids were more endearing because they actually acted like teenagers. That's how they would talk about something like that. As an adult, you're like, this is wondrous. They're like, hey, how'd your mom get knocked up? I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that was one thing that Cameron does well in his movies. He can ingratiate you to characters by how they talk. Like John Connor, Bud from The Abyss, the most wonderful movie of all time. I thought he was kind of back to form as far as that goes with these characters, because I actually cared a lot more about these characters than anything in the original Avatar, including Jake Sully. Jake Sully got hashed out big time in this movie, and I thought that was great.
Well, so I don't. Maybe you could speak on this a little bit, but as a father, and you've shared that you're a father before. the things that like did you have any relational moments with Jake Sully as a father where he's like, I'm a Marine, this is all I know, and then you got like mom in there like, you got to talk to your kid, man. He's like, but I'm a Marine. I don't know how to talk to my kid. I'm a Marine, and it's like it's
Oh
like
yeah.
and the mom's like, well, but he's also your son. He's not a I think in Way of Water, she was trying to say like he's not a soldier. That's your son.
Yeah.
Go talk to him. So that I think that was there any relatable moments for yourself?
Oh
Not
my
saying that you
goodness.
yell at your kids, like I don't want people to take that out of context, but yeah.
Sometimes you got to be a bit stern. I don't know if yelling is the right word, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
like the way it's the whole balance of I don't want to raise a nuisance, but I also don't want to raise a wimp.
Yeah.
It's that finding that balance of somebody that can get along in society, but also that isn't a pushover. And when when he waits, when he waits for his wife to go away, and he's like, "How's the other one look?" Like
Yeah,
that's what you
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
That's like it's like you and me, like we're good. It's just like so. Because I right, I remember my dad was like that. He would we lived right by there was a waterfall, like kind of like a fake goofy looking one in the 90s at the front of our housing addition. And some guy decided he's going to take pictures of this girl on there, and and I went inside. I was like a teenager. I was like, "Oh no, this is crazy." And my dad goes, "That's awful." And then he looks over at me like, "Was she good looking?" Like, it's all like it's something you say to make sure that you're the head of the family, and then everybody knows that you're on board. But then there's the guy to guy thing, like, "Hey, did you beat the crap out of him? Did you punt? Did he break his
Yeah.
nose?" It's like all that kind of stuff. So, oh, dude, yeah, the way that they made Jake a devout father was like it was so good. It was so good.
And then like the other aspect is the part where they just had to pack up and leave home and move to a place that they didn't even know. And it's like the struggles with that and trying to be like living in a new town that you don't know anybody, and people are just they just checking you out, and they kind of pick at you to see how you take it and all that stuff, and like the stuff that they had to go through. So, oh, look at Linko finished watching Avatar: Fire and Ash. Awesome movie, and the Odyssey's looking forward. Yeah, I'm gonna upload my review now. Yeah, we're talking about 1 and 2 because Mo hasn't seen the third one yet.
Tomorrow.
So my review's up on Critic List for the third one. And so I didn't hate it at all. So just so you know. Hey, what's up, Dougie B? Shout out to you, man. And Cam Man is here. Lovely Sherry. So the first 2 Avatar movies were fun. I'm yet to check out the third. Yeah, I just came back from the third. Nick is here. What's up, Nick? Jose Taco. Appreciate y'all. Luigi's here. What's up, man? So the Avatar series is basically a message. No, I don't think so. I think that's just Cameron's way of throwing a little messaging in. I never saw it that way. So, but like in Way of Water, they hunt whales, and the whales have a connection with the water Navi. So like they're all like in a circle, right? A creation circle. So they're like they hunt the whales, and it's like they make the hunting of the whales look really horrible. Like you shouldn't be doing
Mhm.
this. This is bad. Like the way they killed the little kid whale and all that stuff. So, that's all I was saying. But yeah, the visuals were great. But
Yeah.
then we have like the how did you like that how they brought the colonel back and his men? What
I
did you think about, cuz they're dead. They're officially dead.
Right.
And these were like a chip memory. Like our chip conscious with a little bit of their DNA. Kind of crazy, you
Yeah,
know?
but okay, so they did a good job of establishing that quickly where you weren't like, "Oh, whatever." Because they open up they show the personality, and it looks like the end of the braid of an avatar in like a little container. So it looks like a soulless version of that, like whatever's on the end. And that's how they kind of do that. They're like, "Oh yeah," and they leave a message for themselves, which I thought was funny because Stephen Lang's like, "You want me to do this, or you want to,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And he explains to them what's going on, things like that. They have all the memories and things like that. So it was rushed, but they did not do a bad job of getting you up to date. Once again, something that Cameron does really well. He doesn't just like kind of just do Deus Ex Machina. He actually kind of lets you believe it because it's established in this world they can do that. So it makes sense, and they get it off the ground pretty easily. And it would make sense that a military would do that to try to fight back against the Navi because you're not going to do it as humans. You know, you
Well,
need to
that's what
be
happened. The first film was humans versus the Navi. Second one was we upgraded the Marines. So now the Navi's got to fight the Navi. Same strength, stuff like that. So like that was the one up. And this time they're doing it on water and not in the air. So that was the, one of the my biggest issue with Avatar 2. Again, that's it. I just throw it out there. It's my favorite one of the series. I liked it better than the third one. Is the final fight scene when the entire water tribe is with them and they're all fighting. When Jake gets on the boat, where did everybody else go? Like the whole water tribe is absent everywhere. So it's just like, it's just Jake's family. Everybody else has like left. There was no there was no off-screen talking. Like they didn't say, "Hey, we're going back to the village," or nothing. Like they just randomly disappeared. And then it just the focus just turned in on Jake fighting the Colonel, and then we throw in the mix Spider. What did you think about the Spider character? Colonel's son, who wants to be adopted by the Navi because he doesn't know any better. Because I will say this, in the third one, you find out about his mom and other stuff like that too. So
okay, good.
So you get a little bit more knowledge of Spider. But what happens to Spider in the third one is I don't want to say. I'll wait.
Okay,
We'll spoil it tomorrow. But yeah.
We'll just say in the second one, they leave a lot of loose ends open and they're not tied up at the end.
A lot.
And they get looser as you go along. You're like, I don't understand. Like they try to make him have a connection with the general, and they kind of start, but it's like it's never genuine. It's never what that's the one thing where he kind of messed up. Like they try to make you feel for like maybe Spider and the general might get along and stuff like that, but there's no real, they don't hash it out. Even though the movie's over 3 hours long, they don't go down to that well too often.
Correct.
And you never feel like the Spider and the general are getting along too well, but then he saves him from drowning, which this is a action movie. In real life, yeah, you're going to save somebody's life if they're drowning. You're not, even if they're an enemy, you're going to help out. But this, it was a very odd moment and an odd beat, and I don't understand it. Like, it's almost like they're like, well, we got to keep him for the third movie, is almost what it felt like. It felt off from all the rest of the storytelling. That just felt like an addition at the end of the script to me. It was really odd.
It was like the whole Spider training the Marines in the way of the Navi was a little odd too, because I almost felt like, all right, I'll train you, but you guys will probably all be dead. So let me just go ahead and go through with this. Like, how they get the Banshee, like things like that, and trains them and all that, like even the language. And so that was a little odd. And that just builds the tension of Neytiri, the mom, just hating Spider. Like she even like cuts his chest a little bit, like at the end, because when they find out that their son died, and then they're like, well, the other kids are still on board. It's like, all right, she just goes insane, right? I mean, that's her son. That's her firstborn son. So, so she was like testing the waters with like cutting his chest open and stuff. But then I bet it would have been worse if she had found out that he actually saved, like you said, saved the Colonel from drowning. She might have just filleted him right then and there, because her son died. How did you like? The son's name was Neteyam, right? Neteyam, did I get that right?
Yeah, Neteyam or Neteyam? Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that father-son dynamic was pretty intense, right?
Yeah, even though that family, their kids got into trouble a lot, you related with them. Like they were the characters in here, like I said, were much better than the first one. You cared about what they were getting into when they got into trouble, when things, you know, yeah. Well, yeah, no, I thought they were good. I thought they were good characters. I thought the little daughter was like annoying because she doesn't serve any purpose as she cause more trouble, like to cause issues. Like she doesn't do anything. She doesn't really have any
Well, I
character.
think her point was she was so small and young that
Mhm.
she couldn't fight or keep up. So that was like part of their weakness is to try to like, come on, hurry up, like
Right.
get them into safety and keep them safe and stuff like that. So, you know, on that front. I think when Nateum died, man, that was like a tearjerker.
I was surprised that they did it because
That's the thing. Like, he took a big risk and killed the firstborn son. You know, he got shot and he just kind of like and he died, and then then they had a whole funeral at the end, and
oh
it's
man.
like, oh, everybody's blaming themselves, or blaming whoever, and yeah, man, that was rough. Uh, again, it's just the family dynamic and the three kind of picks up maybe a week after two. So yeah, they were
Really?
staked.
Okay.
That's the thing too. You're 100% correct, Bruce. A lot of movies today, like we see in Star Wars, Marvel, you could kill off everybody. It doesn't matter. They'll be right back. Like, look, Doomsday. They're just bringing back the old cast to try to get people to watch.
Mhm.
Um, Star Wars has that famous line from Luke Skywalker: "Nobody's ever really gone, but in Avatar, they kill, they don't come back." You know, it's like there they are. Except for I guess maybe the Colonel came back, but it wasn't really him that was back. It was a clone feeling, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's always kind of weird. I felt like it was a copy. Like even if they're doing it or the Navi are doing it, it's just like, okay, aren't they just copying your conscious? Like, are I guess it's since it seems more natural, but I'm like, but they establish that, so they take any of that kind of doubt, any of that kind of world building out because they're like, no, this is a copy of you. This isn't you. You're already dead. If you see this, you're already dead. You know. So
Let's see. So overall,
overall, first one was nice tech demo. Second one, dad's kicking ass.
do you like the second one a lot better than the first
Oh, I
one?
loved it. I honestly loved it. Now
Were you
what
surprised that you liked it?
I was because
Yeah.
the trajectory of Cameron's career was not going in a way that I had any faith in, especially after Dark Fate. That one really, I never saw it. I saw little bits and pieces
I
of
didn't want to
Disney
see it
Austin.
either. It was gonna
No,
wreck
yeah,
everything Terminator that I loved. So,
I've seen bits and pieces. I'm glad I missed most. I'm
do you
glad I
think you
missed the
understand the universe a little bit more, like with
Oh,
Pandora and
totally.
Awa and all that stuff? And
And
like,
that's the whole thing. The water Navi, the fact that you have people in different parts of the planet, that makes it just instantly, just by that alone, makes it more fleshed out, more interesting, way more interesting. That the Navi evolved from different parts of the planet to have different abilities and things like that.
the the for me, one of the good things and one of the not so good things was hold on, just saw Fire and Ash. Movie was good, amazing visual, but from frustrating story moments. Yeah. I should watch the second one. Maybe I'll like that one more than the first. You haven't seen the second one, Wicked? Mm.
I was fully ready to hate the second one. Like I said, I was not like where Cameron was going. He's talking out of his rear end, and even back then he was, which is why I didn't get to go see it.
Yeah.
But good movie. You're gonna have a
Did you
good time.
recommend watching Fire and Ash? And I'm at 100%. Cameron specifically filmed that in oh, you will love the second one, Wicked. You got to watch the second one. It's a shame you missed it in IMAX. before you even watch. I will say this: if you didn't see the first one, you could probably get away with not watching the first one and watching 2 and 3. Bruce in the chat is absolutely correct. They did film 2 and 3 together, and it does feel like a continuation of 2. Like that's one of the issues I might have had with it. It just feels like, okay, this is basically part 2 stretched out even longer. Like they kind of stretch it out like that might, I don't want to get into it till tomorrow, but that might be one of the issues that I might have had with it. But I still like the film. I had a great time. In the movie theater, but Way of Water was definitely my favorite out of all of them, my personal favorite. So I love the visuals. I loved like seeing the new creature designs. I loved watching it in IMAX. I even loved the soundtrack. The soundtrack, I think the first movie, the soundtrack was better. This one was still a little more like floaty, like that kind of stuff. So
very Enya
yeah.
esque. Yeah.
So I had those type of moments in it, but yeah. So I did enjoy. The first one had the better soundtrack, but I like them equally. But what did people think? I'm glad Mo got to see, because every time I mentioned to like bring it up, I'm like, you got to watch Avatar 2. He always rolled his eyes.
Well,
so he always rolled his eye. Mo gives it a 75. Oh, that's too bad. I'll give you a thumbs up. I thought you'd at least give it an 80. He says, Color be surprised on this one. After being unimpressed with the original Avatar, The Way of Water infuses much needed lore and subplots. That's right. 75, 94, 80. Jonas gave it a higher rating than you.
What? Wow.
That's wild. Look at a lot of it. My review is not here. We got 90s, 70s. I'm trying to see if there's like a bad one. 95. It's crazy to me. Like, people were saying that all the time. Like, don't at me, but I saw this 5 times. It's like, don't apologize for liking the film. A lot of people like the film more than didn't like it. Like, there's one that didn't like it. There's one that hated it.
Come on now.
I enjoyed the first Avatar movie. I was looking forward to this one. I think the 3D was much better and improved. It just didn't work for me. Yeah, I respect it. There's a 20. I don't apologize for enjoying the film. Dang, Danky gave it a 12. Struggle to get through it. 92 from Chewbaccaneer. A 30. 72. A 19. Man, now they've kind of dropped off here. It's back and forth. Look at that. 80 to 60 to 50 to 80 to 75. That's what it's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. I think that's it. I think you either love it or it just wasn't for you. I don't know. The Avatar IP came in at a time in my life when I wanted to watch something sci-fi that wasn't Star Wars, because I was walking out of Star Wars. I was like, I no more hope. I'm done with it. I'm done with Star Wars. Give me some sci-fi adventure that I can enjoy. So, one of those things, but oh well. Are you excited for 3?
I see people in the comments saying it's like, it's not as good, but you know what? It's hard. That third movie, man, that's a hard one to land. Like in any case, didn't happen in Star Wars. Didn't happen in, you name it.
I say
so. I will be a lot more forgiving for what I'm going to see tomorrow, because I was fully ready to just give this one the business for not liking it, the second movie, and I ended up liking it a lot. So it's got some goodwill in my soul now. So when I go see it tomorrow, I'm actually I hate to say this, I got a little bit of excitement because I liked this one I saw today. So I'm actually kind of interested in seeing the one tomorrow. So
I think you're gonna enjoy it a little. You might enjoy it a little bit more simply because like I said, it rolls right off too.
Mm-hmm.
It literally, it's got to be because like the scars on their face are still kind of fresh. You know, like Bruce loves the fire mom. Bruce, what did we tell you about messing with crazy women? You know, what did I tell you, man? Didn't you learn yet? Why are you addicted to crazy women? That woman is freaking crazy in this film. Holy crap. Bruce just can't get enough of them crazy women, bro. I see Wasp. I see Tabitha. I see Phil and my Kraken all here in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. He goes, I'm a Florida man. All right. I totally get that. But yeah, like you're gonna see this right off coming right off too. So like the story and everything is kind of fresh in your mind and the characters and everything. So it's gonna go you're gonna go right into the third one. So I think you're going in. I think you might be going in better than others that have waited for so long. What was it? 3 years since the last one. Now Cameron has talked about this could be the last one, and we'll get more into that tomorrow. So tomorrow, maybe around the same time or maybe an hour later, we're gonna do Avatar 3 spoiler talk, and just go all in on this film. So, and then wondering if there'll be a 4. Should there be a 4? Do you think this movie will make $2 billion? All I know is my theater, they were all sold out. So every theater was sold out. We might be having some guests join too, because I think some others from the Monday Hangover are seeing it either tonight or tomorrow. So go from there. I actually read the books that took place before The Way of Water that Cameron approved, and man, you're talking about Na'vi going back to Earth, Na'vi in space. So will Mo be here tomorrow? Why, yes, he will.
Yes,
We're doing this because of him. We're doing this because of him. So Mo didn't really care for the first one, liked the second one, is slightly excited to see the third one after how much he enjoyed the second one. I love the first. I love the second. I love the third. The third was not my favorite in the trilogy. I guess that's where I'm at. So, but I didn't say I didn't hate it. That's all. Just be careful what you drink, man. I went in with a large Mr. Pibb. That last 30 minutes was like, hurry up.
I fast, man. I do not want to leave a movie. If I'm in there, I get my money's worth. So
I feel like if you like eat a bunch of popcorn, it'll soak it up, right? You know?
Yeah, but then nobody wants to ride home with you. If you catch my drift. Gets a little gassy.
Well, that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're gonna hop on our gaming channels and go play some Fortnite. So if you guys want to head over to Mo's Arcade.
I might just have to name it that. I'm about to give up. So.
Anybody have any questions in the chat before we which Doomsday trailer did you get? I got Captain America, and I will say this: in my theater for the Avatar film, people clapped at the end. There was a clapping. There was ahs. There was oohs and ahs. There was laughing when it was like so the crowd was into it. They showed that Doomsday trailer. People acted like they didn't even care. Nothing. No reaction. No nothing, dude. Nothing. That's just my theater. I could be wrong. Other people could have had a different experience, but I was like, huh. And they waited to the right before Avatar came on, they showed a bunch of different previews. I did not get the Odyssey prologue, whatever that was, for like that 5-minute thing. That wasn't in my theaters. But I did get Captain America. So we'll see. Maybe Mo will get Thor or Loki or something else. We'll see. And we'll go from there. But yeah, nobody. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if anybody cared. Like I was shocked. So Blaine said he watched it in Dolby 3D. Never heard of it. Have you, Jay? Dolby 3D.
I've heard.
I watched it in 3D. I don't know what mine was like laser. I watched it at Disney Springs, and they rolled out the red carpet. There was like a red carpet. There was like pit photos everywhere. It was like a big display everywhere, all that stuff. So, you know, but anyway, that's it. Anything else you want to say?
No. If you were on the fence and you didn't like the first one, do yourself a favor, go watch the second one. You'll have a fun time. I'm almost positive. So
awesome. To the gaming streams. I'm gonna hit the red button. We'll see you then.